I'm sorry, my friends. I'm not going to let this go. I'm going to keep informing people as long as I possibly can. So here are the ramifications of the bill which was passed through Congress entitled H.R. 1955, which all of us, or some of us at least, have been warning about for quite some time. And I'd like to recall an essay which was written about a year ago by Colonel Dan Smith. It was published on several websites. I recalled it from the Counterpunch website here, which basically explains what this is all about. Congresswoman Jane Harman has introduced legislation H.R. 1955, the Violent Radicalization and Homegrown Terrorism Act. At base, Harman's proposal seems to be a direct attack on First Amendment rights. Nowhere is this more clear than in the third introductory paragraph of the bill, whereas it's called, that provides the context for the action desired. Now, mind you, Jane Harman is a Democratic representative. She comes from the Democratic Party. Both parties seem to be equally on board in terms of repression in this country. So here it goes. Specifically, this legislation aims at the unregulated nature of the Internet. The Internet has aided in facilitating violent radicalization, ideologically based violence, and the homegrown terrorism process within the United States by providing access to broadband and constant streams of terrorist-related propaganda to United States citizens. Well, this legislation passed, and now we can see it in full action in Minneapolis, St. Paul, over the weekend. As Colonel Dan Smith stated, ideologically based violence, and he is taking this definition from the very legislation itself. The use, planned use, or threatened use of force or violence by a group or individual to promote the group or individual's political, religious, or social beliefs. This definition, as Colonel Dan Smith states, is key to understanding this type of repressive legislation. The history of democracy is that over time, government encroaches so much into the lives of its people that government itself becomes the problem. Consider that in the 1770s, had the U.S. been a country with a law that criminalized the threatened use of violence, everyone of the founding fathers who participated in the Boston Tea Party or refused to accede to British soldiers foraging on private property rights would have been guilty of violent radicalization and of promoting ideologically based violence. What has become an extremist belief under this legislation in some circles within our own government is evidently the belief in democracy itself. I will follow up this little video with probably one or two others regarding the arrests and and preemptive taking in custody of journalists and so on at the RNC convention. This doesn't bode well, and people should pay close attention to this. And I would hope that people wake up before it is too late. We're about 5 minutes to midnight at this point. Thanks for listening.